Thank you so much for joining us today. We're excited to talk about this fun topic. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Emily Rahana. I'm the Director of Sales here at 55 Places, and we are excited to have our Chief Revenue Officer, Chad Walker, joining us. And after him, we will be hearing from our Associate Vice President of Brokerage and Partnerships, Khadeejah Johnson. They are both seasoned experts in their field. So we really appreciate them taking some time to sit down with you today. Just a few housekeeping tips. This is webinar style, which means you don't need to worry about anybody seeing you on camera. You don't need to worry about muting or unmuting. We have the rest of our amazing team here with us today, so they will be handling the Q&A. If you have any questions or anything you would like to add, please use the Q&A and we will address your questions and incorporate them there. And with that, I will hand it over to Chad.
Thanks so much, Emily. And hi to any new agents joining that I haven't met before. I haven't presented since start of Q2, so nice to meet virtually any of you that are recently new to our program. And also hi to all the awesome existing rock stars that we have. I'm going to do the first part of the presentation here around AI and ChatGPT for real estate agents. So Khadeejah, who's going to be presenting after me, as Emily mentioned, her and I attend the Inman conferences twice a year, one in New York, one usually in Las Vegas. They graciously moved the summer one from Las Vegas to San Diego for us this year, which we are very happy about. It was a packed 2.5 days of topics, and I have to say, day one was all about AI. I'm not sure if you're hearing that from your brokers or brokerages, but it definitely was the theme of Inman Connect in San Diego. Every leader of each big real estate company or startup company talked about AI, talked about how it is changing in our industry, but it wasn't all for the bad. And so today I just want to summarize kind of what we learned there. So why does it matter? When we were at Inman, they really emphasized that AI is reshaping mostly the top and bottom of funnel, while the middle still requires that human touch, which is great news for us. People want that hand holding. They want that person with the expertise to show them the homes, to navigate inspection responses for them. They want them to navigate negotiating contracts. There's still that piece that's not at all being interrupted by AI, but it'd be really hard to replace a human there. By top and bottom of funnel, what I mean there is we're seeing a lot of AI tools in the space of MLSs, the way you can do comparables, email writing, kind of that type of stuff. Bottom of funnel, we're seeing it more in escrows and mortgages moving quicker. AI is able to help move along the closing process a little more of the systematic things, if you think of it that way. And I could say, and I'm sure Khadeejah would back me on this, that the room was like really took a deep breath when they heard all the experts say, agents matter. Agents aren't going anywhere. AI is not going to replace agents. Why it matters, though, is real estate's super fast paced, as we all know. Clients expect instant responses, professional materials, and instead of you spending hours writing, you can actually let AI draft and polish and stay focused on conversations and closings, the things that really matter. Some of the ways it could help you is being more efficient by automating repetitive tasks, drafting follow-up emails, social media posts, and market updates. And I'm going to show you a few of those prompts in here in a minute. Other things helps you be consistency. You can maintain polished professional tone across your communications, even when you're juggling multiple clients, like we all know you do here in our program. It can help you customize personalized scripts, letters, presentations, newsletters, clients, follow up for a property, things like that. It also gives you a competitive edge. So many agents not yet leveraging AI, but the early adopters stand out with faster response times and sharper marketing materials. And you have to use AI as a guide, though, and make sure you put your touch on it, I will have to say. And then scalability, whether you're handling 5 clients or 50, ChatGPT is a really great resource to help you manage communication and stay organized without burning out. And I know we've all been there, especially when the business ebbs and flows. The seasons change. We all know what that's like. And sometimes it just hits at once and you're like, oh my God, how do I keep my head above water? And I have to say, I use this daily in both my career here and as a broker in my own brokerage here in Seattle as an agent. So I'm going to show you a few things here shortly on how it can help you. What is ChatGPT though? For anyone who doesn't know, who hasn't used it, and I hope everybody has at least played around with it a little bit, maybe. It's an AI tool developed by OpenAI. Think of it like an advanced assistant that can understand natural language, answer your questions, generate human-like responses, but in real time. It's not just like a search engine like Google, right? So it can draft emails like I talked about, it can create scripts, it can analyze data, it can help you brainstorm on marketing ideas and really adapt to your style. As the more you use it, the more it understands who you are, what tone you like, by the questions you ask it, by how you ask it to edit things. It's a little bit creepy, but really cool. For real estate, it means that it can help you instantly write property descriptions, prepare client responses, summarize contracts like inspection reports, or even practice listing presentations. So that's what ChatGPT is. That's why it could be really important to you. And now I want to go into a little bit of how to use it. So prompting. Prompting is like where it all starts, right? So I want to give you some prompting basics. So if you go to ChatGPT, there is a free version that you can go to, ChatGPT 5.0, which was just released. And so there's a free version. It's free to ask, have as many conversations as you want. Where it's not free is a $20 a month plan, which is called ChatGPT Pro. That's where you can upload documents, have it analyze them, read inspection reports, that kind of stuff. And so I would recommend if you haven't tried it, try the free version first, practice a little bit with prompts after I show you today. And if you feel like it really helps your business and it's really helping you grow and move quicker, you could upgrade to the Chat GPT Pro. I use Pro, I use it every day. Um, so prompting basics, don't just, say, write me a description. That's too vague. Broad and ambiguous prompts force assumptions and they won't give you a detailed response. So you really want to prompt in like, who are you talking to? Who do you want it to be? Give it a specific role so it helps guide your responses. This helps the model understand role and personality it should take, right? So tell it specifically, you are a real estate marketing expert. Here are the details and make it 200 words. That is a really good prompt and a way to get a really good response back rather than saying, can you give me a 200 word character on this? Because they don't know who you are, what your profession is, or how you want it to be written. Um, and so just make sure you're really detailed here. And I have an example that I'm going to show you also on the next page. All right, this one's kind of long. I promise it's the longest, but it's pretty good. So this is where AI shines. Instead of starting from scratch, how many of you, I am one of them, take listings and hate writing listing descriptions? I hate it. The Northwest MLS here only allows you so many characters. I'm sure Ruby is smiling in the background as well because I know she's out of Seattle. And whenever I have a listing, I throw it to her and I say, want to write the listing description? What's really cool about ChatGPT is you can literally put in this prompt. You are a real estate marketing expert, so I told it who it was. Write a compelling 200-word MLS description for a two-bedroom, two-bath, active adult home in Palm Springs with mountain views, golf course nearby, and low maintenance living. End. That's all I did. Look what it spits out. Welcome to your desert oasis in the heart of Palm Springs. This beautifully appointed two-bedroom, two-bath home offers the perfect blend of comfort, convenience, and stunning surroundings. From the moment you arrive, you'll appreciate the low-maintenance lifestyle, ideal for year-round living or a lock-and-leave retreat, and so forth. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but what do you guys think? That's pretty cool, right? Like this is a template for you to work from, right? And if there's some things you don't like about it, you could tweak it. But what a great start for writing your listing description within that character just by a 2-sentence prompt. That's pretty cool, right? So I want to show you another use case. Number 2, a social media post. A lot of us post when we have open houses, when we closed on a home, things that are happening with new builds in the neighborhood, new communities that just launched, or maybe they had a grand opening. AI does a really good job at generating social media content in seconds. So instead of racking your brain for a catchy, like headline, what you want to write, you can literally use this type of prompt. Act as a real estate agent. Write 3 Instagram captions under 150 characters each with emojis to promote an open house in a 55 plus community in Tampa this weekend. Mention the pool and clubhouse. You put this in, you hit enter, it literally gives you results. The results are much longer than this and it will give you like a little more to say on there. But this way you can really focus on the photos of the home that you have and not spend so much time thinking about what to write, how to generate interest, and get that out there to your customers and everybody that follows you. All right, let's jump into another use case. So follow-ups are critical. We all know we're dealing with a ton of follow-ups all the time, have a lot of customers, they're active, maybe inactive, and are coming back. It's constant, constant, constant. We spend a lot of time in our email. So follow-ups are critical, sometimes hard to word, right? AI drafts them for you so you can personalize them quickly and hit send. I actually use these all the time in our business here to builders. I did one the other day. A builder kind of went dormant on me and I hadn't heard anything. And I checked in a few times and I asked ChatGPT, I'm like, look, here's the scenario. I'm a real estate leader. I've been having a conversation with a builder, help write me an email that is friendly in a friendly tone and that like brings us back to the top of their email in a good way, right? And so it wrote it for me and I loved it and it started to learn kind of my tone and who I am. And in this case here, here's a prompt. So you're a real estate agent. Draft a warm professional follow-up email to a 55 plus buyer who toured a home yesterday but hasn't responded. Keep it friendly, emphasize availability to answer questions, and invite them to see similar listings. This is what I came up with. Hi, Susan. It was wonderful touring yesterday. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If this home wasn't perfect fit, I have a few similar options you may love. Want to set up another tour? Really great start. You might want to add to it. And on this, if you're like, that email's too short, if that's what you're thinking when you read this, you can say, ask an additional question. It's perfect for a conversation. You can say, actually, Susan was referred to me by one of my previous clients that lives in this community. And, you know, we had lunch at XYZ and like it will continue making it longer, personalizing it. You can ask it for more characters, but it helps really guide a nice response for you. So you're not racking your brain on like, how do I get Susan to respond to me, right? So using this for buyer follow-up is also a really good option and prompt for you. All right, I have a few more here. I think two. How about neighborhood guides? I don't know if anyone out there writes their own neighborhood guides or if they maybe send on a monthly newsletter or templates like that, but this is perfect for websites, buyer packets, email marketing. These kind of guides position you as a local expert with almost no effort to write them. So this one was really long, and so I didn't add the whole thing in here just so you know, but here's a prompt you could use. Act as a local guide. Write a short neighborhood overview for Scottsdale, Arizona, focused on 55 plus buyers, lifestyle, amenities, medical access, and attractions. If you do that, and if you type that in right now, if you're on ChatGPT for your market, it will give you something back to the point of Scottsdale combines resort living with practical conveniences for 55 plus buyers. Top hospitals, golf courses, shopping are minutes away. And then it continues on. And it can make it as short or as long as you want it. You can ask it more questions. If you felt like there was something missing, you can say, this looks really great, but please add this. Because maybe it doesn't know about it. So it's a really good guide to get you there on getting a template worked out for your website, for your email marketing, or for buyer packets, or for newsletters and stuff like that. Okay, one more, time savers. This is one of my favorites. I hate inspection reports, right? Because an inspector is going to tell you every single thing about the house when you get that back. And sometimes it's super overwhelming for a buyer to digest that. And even more overwhelming sometimes for an agent to break it down for them with, the most dire things that need to happen, or maybe some things that aren't as immediate. And so what's really cool about this, and remember that I said there's a free version and a pro version. On the free version, you could, from a PDF from the report you receive, copy all the text, throw it in the ChatGPT, and you could say, you're a real estate expert. Summarize this inspection report into a bullet point email that is easy for my client to understand. Keep it under 150 words. If you have Pro, you could actually upload the PDF there, have it read it, and do the same thing. It's probably going to be more detailed in the Pro. It's going to be probably a little bit more basic in the free version. But again, this could turn hours into minutes for it to go through, act as your assistant, and spit out a 150-word response to summarize an inspection report. It is really, really cool what it can do. All right, so some best practices. That was my last prompt example. Always fact check. AI may make up some info. That's why you have to read it. It's going to give you a really good baseline. It is a guide, but it's not always going to be 100% accurate, right? It gets more accurate the more you use it, the more you're signed in, even on the free version, and the more it understands who you are, what your tone is, what your profession is, and what you want it to do. It'll get better and better and better because it learns from you. Don't paste private client data in there, right? So you don't want to put in your client's social security number, maybe their home address or phone number or anything like that. That's not necessary. You can make it really general without putting in private information. I already said this, but use the AI as drafts. You add the final polish. It just gives you the baseline, right? Only use authentic tools. Make sure that you're using an actual ChatGPT, and if you're searching it in a browser and you're going to one you've never heard of, just be really careful that it's not a not authentic tool, right? There's Gemini, Perplexity, ChatGPT. There's a bunch of different versions by well-known companies. Make sure you're using one of those and not some version that, may not be to your benefit. Keep your voice authentic, right? And so if it's spitting something out to you and it sounds too professional, it's happened to me before. I'm like, hey, this is actually someone that I know really well, and like that tone doesn't sound like me. We're really a little more relaxed in the way we have conversations. Can you rewrite this in a relaxed tone? And so it will use your authentic voice if you explain it to do that. And then the last thing I would say, this was new to me, I just learned this recently, is you can disable the model training and settings. So if you use ChatGPT and you're signed in, you go to the lower left where your name is, there's a settings and you go to the general part. And what this means is you can toggle off telling ChatGPT to use your conversations and what you're teaching it to do as a model for all of ChatGPT, right? And so it's going to take your information you're putting in if this is turned on and not share it with anybody, but it's going to use what it's learning from you across all of ChatGPT. So you can turn that off if you want, if you feel like you want to keep it more private. And so that's just another best practice. Some quick wins. This could save you hours daily. Trust me, hours. It really can. It saves me a lot of time. I know it saves my team a lot of time who use it effectively. You can market like a pro with no extra cost. You can impress clients with speed and polish. And it really is like a virtual assistant just sitting next to you as you work. It's pretty awesome. All right. So if anyone's brave enough, it's the Q&A, I think, right, Emily? Use the Q&A. Is anyone brave enough? I'll go live if you want and show you a ChatGPT. If you have a scenario or something you're curious if it could do as a real estate professional, you could put it in the question and answer. Maybe someone can just very brief, you don't have to be super detailed. But I am also curious, if you don't want to put that in there, if no one's brave enough, maybe what case excites you most? What will you use it for? MLS listings, social media, buyer emails, maybe neighborhood guides, or is it just a time saver for you? Or maybe you're afraid to try it. I'm not sure, but I'll pause there for a second. Do we have a brave soldier in the room?
It looks like some listing email, MLS listings and buyer emails. So are some of the
Listing and buyer emails.
things that have popped up. Yeah.
Anything specific that you would want to see? And by the way, can everybody see this?
Yeah.
I'm signed into my ChatGPT. Okay.
Yeah. Nothing
Anything more specific around the email, or like you trying to overcome an objection? Or are you trying to break down something, which I don't have a version of an inspection report in front of me, but
Here's a good one. A social media post for proposed lower interest rates.
great. Okay. So let's do this together. All right. Who are we? We're obviously a real estate expert, right? So we want to say you are a real estate expert. We want to write them an email, right?
This one was a social media post for proposed lower interest rates.
Okay. I'm typing in real time, being recorded. Not bad, huh? All right. What do we think? Did we tell it who it was? We were pretty detailed. Do we want certain characters? Anybody? Yeah, probably a social media post. Keep it
Mhm.
to what? 150?
Yeah, maybe with an emoji.
Yeah. I said that and now I'm gonna mess up on my typing. All right, let's do it. Ready, hit enter. Boom. Here we go. It did it. It only give us one. What do we think? You can ask it more questions. Do you like that or anybody?
I want to see other options.
Yeah, this is great. But you get me options. All right, you literally can just have a conversation with it, and look what it does for you. I thought it would do that first, to be honest with you, but it give us options you can test for tone, urgency, and style. Um, we think they're going to cut rates in September. This one might be good to use once they do it, when it's like big news. And so, anyways, just wanted to give you this. And, if you scroll down, Ellie, I'll ask you a question. Do you want me to tailor these for urgency, act now, or more or educational or reassuring? You literally can go, yes, please, and it will do that for you as well. You don't have to tell it much. It keeps prompting you and asking you questions. So, depending on the type of social media post, whether it's educational or urgency, it can give you all these options. And then it will ask you if you want to use the longer version, anything for Facebook or LinkedIn. It's really, really smart. I use this a lot. It knows I'm a real estate pro, and so it continues to recommend things. And sometimes it recommends things that I'm not even thinking about. I'm like, oh, LinkedIn, that's a great place too. Yeah, do that. Right. So this conversation can continue down that path. So thanks for the example. Thanks for whoever put that in. I appreciate it. Emily, thank you for guiding me on that.
You're welcome. I'm just going to throw
Yeah,
in real quick one
yeah,
um, mention that Cheryl threw out in the Q&A, which is a really good point. She said, I like to use ChatGPT to read my HOA CCNRs for me. Most of them are 30 to 40 pages. And then she can summarize most asked questions, etc. That was a really good tip. Thank you, Cheryl.
that that is amazing. And you know what, Cheryl? You can also, I'm sure you do this for all the different communities in your area. What's really great about that is you can create a draft or a template and save it in like your Google Drive or your email templates in your inbox if you use Google or Outlook or whatever you do. It's a rinse and repeat because, like you said, you probably get the same question more than once from people interested. And how great to create a template that you're really happy with and copy and paste. I can't tell you how many times we answer the same question. Awesome example.
Can I say something else, add something to
Yeah.
that? It's also awesome sometimes too, say if one of your clients says for you, you can compare what the differences are between these two HOAs, you can upload both of their information into there and it will compare and contrast like what the differences are and spit them out to you, which is amazing. And it takes so much time off of your life because you're not going through and reading each one and trying to compare and contrast yourself. So
Yeah. Good point, Khadijah. And that's for the pro version for the upload. If you only had the free version and you're not paying for it, you'd have to copy paste one, let it answer, and then ask it, say, okay, thank you. Can you compare one more set and then copy paste two? And you'd have to guide it that way by like copying and pasting yourself. The pro one works a little bit quicker because you can upload those. Awesome. All right, I'm almost there. So next steps. After today, I just really encourage you to test a few prompts, use a cheat sheet I'm about to share, share successes with the group, and maybe we can learn from each other. One thing I thought that we might be able to do is we could share best results, like Cheryl just talked about. Maybe we could help build a library, to where other agents can get to like really good information that you've used, for prompts. And just try it. Don't be afraid of it. Use it as your assistant. I know I was hesitant for a long time. I can't imagine working more efficient without it at this point. But I have to like just really reiterate, use it as a guide and make sure you read it and make sure it's factual and make sure that it sounds like you, that it's authentic. Um, all right, here's the cheat sheet. This is my last thing. So we're going to share this with you afterwards. You don't have to take screenshots or write all this down or remember it all. I have a little cheat sheet of kind of what I went through today on different prompts you could give it. But at Inman, I just wanted to kind of reiterate what they had said that, the AI revolution is here. Agents who are embracing these tools today will dominate tomorrow. AI doesn't replace relationships, hard work, or local market expertise. It enhances them. Whether it's creating business plans, simplifying contracts, generating social media content, and writing newsletter, it's the ultimate assistant for forward-thinking agents. As real estate evolves, leverage AI as your preferred method of prospecting and take incremental steps towards mastering the game of this changing technology. The future of real estate belongs to those who adapt and who innovate. I just thought that was really good. I wanted to close with that. I stole that directly from the AI article from Inman post the conference in person. Want to thank you for letting me guide you through that. I am by no means an AI expert. I am still learning, but I hope it helps you. I hope you try some things, and I hope it makes you more efficient in your business, and that you can master a few techniques that make you go faster and less stressful. Cool. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Khadeejah. Or is there any questions on the AI stuff? And then I'll go over to Khadeejah. We good there? Was there anything else?
I think we're good.
Okay, cool. Khadijah, take it away.
Awesome. All right. So we are going to talk about today the economic and housing updates. On July 16th of this year, NAR posted the Real Estate and Economic Handbook. And obviously, you guys, we all want to know what's going on in the market. I don't think we're as nervous as we were last year, but I think there's still some uncertainty out there. And I mean, mainly, I think it's surrounding interest rates. But this kind of is going to give us a little guide into where things are going and what the current status is. So inventory of homes over time. Okay, this chart is showing us how total housing inventory has trended since 2000. And one of the key points that I want to point out is that today's inventory still remains high. And in places like Miami, it would take 40 years to draw it down if turnover stays low. So that's a good thing. And the reason many homeowners are locked in with ultra low 3% mortgages and are reluctant to sell. So that's what you're seeing. You're seeing that people are locked in. They're not willing to give up on their 3% mortgage rate. I'm one of those people. I'm sure probably many of us in this room, in the Zoom room, are currently those people. So it's, going to take time to get those numbers back up. But again, I think we'll start to see those numbers go back up once those interest rates go down and people start getting back into the market, and we start seeing that there's opportunity for us to sell our homes and maybe make more money than we thought we ever would. And then in turn, take that money and either purchase in cash or borrow a smaller amount, where it won't matter that the interest rate is, maybe double what we are currently paying in that 3%. All right. And then next, we have the Federal Reserve Fed funds rate diagram. Or should I say line chart? This line chart illustrates the Fed's policy rate from 2000 to 2005. 2005, rates were near zero, post 2008. They climbed gradually and spiked in 2022 through 2023, obviously during COVID. And that was obviously, or right after COVID, to combat inflation. And you can point out how higher rates directly impact mortgage rates, affordability, and housing demand if you look at this chart. Again, you can see the spikes that happen and then dips and then a little small spike, and then obviously spikes go up. And this is obviously as those interest rates go up is where we see them spike. And then obviously with inflation, you start to see things go down. All right. Next, we have, this is how many rate cuts in 2025 by the Federal Reserve. It was kind of like based on Robinhood's prediction market. And the chart shows probabilities for the Fed cutting rates 1 to 6 times in 2025. Markets at the time, and I think even when this was produced, we were expecting multiple cuts as inflation cooled. But obviously the odds have varied, and many would say inflation hasn't necessarily cooled, especially when you go to the grocery store and eggs are $9 and $10. But to date, there have been no interest rate cuts, obviously, and It has been indicated, however, that in September possibly and possibly December, we will see those cuts happen. But again, it's not guaranteed. And so obviously this prediction is saying that it was going to be 2, and we're hoping that it will be 2. And again, hopefully that will be in September and December of this year. Okay, so job gains since pre-COVID record high. This map pretty much highlights job recovery and growth by state from March 2020 to May 2025. Some states like Texas, Florida, and Nevada have posted very strong gains if you look at the map, and that has been fueled by housing demand. And then you have other areas like, for example, DC that remain below pre-COVID employment. So you can kind of see where the payroll is high, that those states are doing really good in real estate, and if they're where they're not as high, they're not doing very good as for in regards to real estate sales. Job gains in the past 12 months. This is a similar map, you guys, as the previous one, but it is focused only on May 2024 through May 2025. The growth is positive, but it is moderating. And it's showing a cooling labor market compared to the strong rebound immediately after COVID. So you can see in states like Iowa, West Virginia, way up there in Maine. Maine's at 0%, but you see the other ones are at a decline. So job gains has been positive, but of course it's flattened out. So now we're in the moderate standpoint. Hopefully, again, things will go up once we get inflation under control, as well as once those interest rates go down. Existing home sales. You guys, as you all know, this has been 2 of the worst years. Again, I feel like things are like flattening out, but the past 2 years have not been good in regards to the housing market. The related charts show annual sales from 2019 to 2024. And they were among the most difficult years for existing home sales in decades. And then monthly data into 2025 is that there's no clear recovery yet. And again, we're hoping with the interest rates going down, that the people will be more likely out in the market. And then those sellers who have that low interest rate of 3%, we're hoping that will, if they know that they can sell their house for a larger amount because there's more buyers in the market, then we'll see things start to shift and start to move more. Recent monthly existing home sales net show no recovery. So if you guys look to the right where you see the box in red, it shows that it has been flat, and that has been flattened since January 2023. And then you can see during those COVID years from mid 2020 over until January or the beginning of 2022 is when it was at its peak, and then it started a slow decline into 2023. So right now we don't see a recovery. It's still flattened out. Again, we're hoping for more of a recovery once those interest rates go down. Home price appreciation slowdown. The time series obviously is from 2015 through 2025. It shows appreciation rates peaking during COVID. And that was like a 20% annual gains, but then slowly, significantly after 2022. Prices aren't collapsing, but growth is much more modest now. So we're still not growing. And then you see kind of like things kind of go down here in July. And then you'll probably start to see it go up, but obviously the appreciation is slowing down because there are more buyers in the market, and it's no longer a seller's market. So sellers are now knowing that now is the time for them to sell, and get the money out of their home. Because, it basically, we're afraid that if you're a homeowner, that if the prices, if inflation doesn't go down, as well as if interest rates don't go down, you're looking to move, you're going to be stuck selling that home. So you're definitely much more willing to sell your price for a little less in current times. Regional comparison of single family home prices. This is a long-term chart comparing prices across the West, the Northeast, South, and Midwest. And you guys, this goes all the way back to 1970. West and Northeast consistently higher, with Midwest the most affordable. The West was at 647,000 appreciation. Northeast, or should I say average home price, 647,000 in the West. Northeast average price home is 525,000. In the South, it's 375,000. And the Midwest, it's at 329,000. I don't know if you guys have actually seen an article that recently came out, and I actually predicted this a couple years ago, that you're going to see the Midwest start to become very popular and a very popular option for people who cannot afford to live on either coast, because and either any of the coasts. I feel whether you go north, south, east, west, whichever coast that you're on, or whatever part of the country that you're in, is that it is extremely expensive. The Midwest is a sweet spot. So when you have, people who are looking to buy something and they want to buy something affordable, I feel like that migration, and it's kind of being proven true here, that it's going to the Midwest. So that's why you're even seeing the comparable prices in the Midwest, which is 329,000, and then in the South, 375,000. That's actually not that big of a difference, just because you see more people are also starting to migrate to the Midwest.
Man, you can't even buy a car nowadays for what you could buy a house for back in 1970.
Isn't that the truth? Craziness.
All right.
What did you tell me? What was it in California, or what I read, California, in 1970, you could buy a house for $20,000 or something.
Yeah, right there. That left side is 23,500 on the West was 1970. I mean, it's interesting how all the regions are pretty similar back then, and now how it's completely different as like times went on, how the coasts have grown more.
Absolutely. Then next you have the regional comparisons of single family home prices.
Sorry, you already hit on that one. Sorry, I skipped you around.
Okay, so we are now at, we're at the regional comparisons of single family home prices. So again, as mentioned before, 23,500. And this is the important to see how the prices have gained significantly. And then it's important, this is something important you might even want to point out to any of your clients, that you can see a significant gain if you purchase a home now. You can see like there's a big difference if you sell it in the future. So the appreciation over time is significant. So and then we will go to the next slide, the 30-year fixed mortgage rate. This kind of shows you how it has fluctuated, and it shows the historical trend since 2000. Rates dropped below 3% during COVID, but then surged back above 7% in 2022 and 2023. It's currently trending in the mid 6% range. Hoping it's going to go down a little bit. I mean, even if it's adjusted down to 6%, I think that'll make a huge difference. I don't know if we'll see something like 5.75, 5.85%. It's not likely. I think if it does go down, we're going to see it more around 6.25 to 6%, which is still somewhat significant in payment. We're looking at the nationwide forecast. What's for 2025, we see modest growth in existing home sales. It's a positive of 3%, as you can see there. Home prices are a positive, median home price, should I say, are a positive 1%, which isn't bad. For 2026, however, we're seeing NAR is saying it's going to be a stronger rebound, that sales prices are going to increase by 14%. And then median home prices are going to also increase by 4%, which is great. And this is obviously, you guys, tied to expectations of lower rates and stronger job gains. Next we have, and I don't want to upset anybody who's currently in Florida, but Florida is not the fastest growing state anymore. Florida is no longer no longer the number one fastest growing state. States like Texas, Utah, and South Carolina are seeing stronger growth. I think Texas, because you have places like Dallas where the median price isn't very high, And then you have places that like South Carolina, where you're looking in those coastal areas that are much more affordable than coastal areas of Georgia as well as Florida. So that's where you're seeing those differences there. Then the South gained nearly 1.8 million people in 2024. This is showing the top 10 fastest growing metro areas. Number one is Ocala, Florida. Hey, isn't that where the Villages is? Indeed it is. But you're seeing a couple of areas in Florida, again, South Carolina, Utah's there, Alabama is there. And then you have Texas. And I feel like the Texas, Alabama, South Carolina, those are areas where it is very affordable to move to those areas currently in comparison to moving to different places in Florida. Domestic migration is shifting towards the West and Midwest. Again, this goes back to what I was saying. Those areas are much more affordable in comparison to places like California, Florida, again, those coastal areas along the West, as well as those coastal areas along the South. And the southern areas, such as Florida, you're getting much more affordability when you get into places like Ohio, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, and so forth. So it's very noteworthy if you compare the numbers from 2023 to now is when you're starting to see those migration change and that shift go to the Midwest and West. Popular areas that still draw most Americans despite decline. You have Texas, North Carolina. Those saw the strongest migration moves. I know a lot of people, we were beginning to do a lot of business here, even at 55 places in the North Carolina, South Carolina area. And then again, Texas, as I mentioned earlier, especially the Dallas-Fort Worth area. A lot of people are moving there just based on affordability. And then, of course, you're having a lot of jobs that are moving to the Texas area too. So that's why you are still seeing them draw a lot of people and a lot of people migrating to those areas. Metro Market Business Intelligence. This is a key place where you guys can go. You can select a metropolitan area from a drop-down menu. And then you can click on the different icons and kind of see where the area that you're looking in ranks. I feel like this could be a great thing for you to give to your clients, whether it be a seller or a buyer, just to show obviously your knowledge of the market and kind of give them some statistics on the market that you can present to them. So I would strongly recommend for you guys to use this that is provided by the National Association of Realtors, and they will print you out an actual PDF report, which is very nice as well. And then home buyers in Dallas, Fort Worth. NAR provides metro level dashboards, affordability, economic conditions, buyer profiles, demographics. Again, this is going back to the previous slide before of what it will print out for you. This example is for Dallas, Fort Worth. It shows, for example, that the median age is 41 years old. The median income is 126,000. And then migration mostly within the state, but 14% move from out of state. So that is an interesting fact to maybe let your sellers and buyers know. And then the household types dominated by married couple that are family, and that's about 61% of the households located in the area. So again, it's great information to provide to your clients. And to wrap that up, you guys, it's important to know kind of currently what's going on in the market, and it's good to have resources to give to your clients, to let them know where the market is, to let them know your expertise in the market, and to let them know that, right now it may be a little overwhelming, or they might find it challenging to sell their home. But things are definitely on an upswing, especially once the job market gets a bit stronger, inflation gets better, and those interest rates going down. We'll see that trajectory go significantly in an upward position.
All right. Thank you, Khadeejah, for the economic and housing update. Awesome. Is there any questions in chat on any of that stuff for clarification or anything? Good. All right. We have a quick last section. Emily, take it away.
All right. Thank you both so much. And thanks, partner agents, for sticking with us. We know that it's great to see what's going on in the marketplace, and it's applicable to our business and how we educate ourselves so we can educate our customers. So thank you both for that. So taking a look at all of that in mind, what have we been doing here at 55 Places and what has been going well? Well, leads are increasing. We are seeing that across the board. We are hearing that from you guys in several markets. Leads are picking up, which is something that we have been telling you and we've been working hard on improving, and we are seeing the fruits of the hard work, which is great. There's been countless website and community page improvements. If you haven't gone on the website recently and acted as a customer to experience what your customers experience, I strongly encourage you to do so. Within the last 24 hours, we released our community page version 5 updates, which delivers larger photo galleries. You can see over here to the right, the beautiful photos that are displayed, the information that's down below. It is a revamped version of what is there. And of course, you're still featured as the expert on those community pages, as you can see right below that. That is still there and prominent, displaying your response time. And then of course, clicking on your photo and the customers can navigate to your agent bio page. Always just a quick call out if you need an updated headshot, bio, or any information updated on your agent bio page, don't hesitate to reach out to the sales manager team so we can navigate you through those updates. Also an important reason to respond quickly to those customers because they see how quickly you respond to them, which we know responding to those customers is key and engaging them right away. So one of our new partner agents down here in the corner, Dan, you can see his response time average is 2 minutes. He is killing it. So great work. That is also where your customer reviews will be featured. We have also been working to create usable and helpful features for you guys to navigate Huddle and connect with your customers. And we've been working hard to improve our builder relationships. We think it's critical as we improve those to get updated photos and assets for communities and information to really build that trust. And then that way you guys have the tools you need to build trust with your customers as well. So what's coming up? Well, next month, it's September. It's National Call Day, which is something we look forward to every year. Likely, if you are a seasoned veteran, then you have been around for National Call Day before. If you're new, be on the lookout to sign up. This is a day we dedicate to getting on the phone, sitting down, calling customers, making appointments. As busy professionals and being on the go, sometimes it can be hard to do that, but this is just kind of a fun way for us to sit down, do it together, listen to some music, share best practices. Even if you can dedicate just a half an hour to that, I promise you will be grateful for the time you set aside to make some phone calls to customers, maybe even ones you haven't been able to connect with. And then what's ahead? Well, of course, we would love to hear from you. What kind of webinars would you like to see? What is important to you guys to help support your business? Feel free to throw it in the chat. You can, of course, email me suggestions. Also, helpful features. What would you find helpful in Huddle to help continue to support your business? You can also either throw that in the Q&A or you can email me anything that you would like to see. I can't promise that I can make it happen, but I will certainly listen and do my very best. And all of that is to wrap up and say we're really trying to continue our planning to support you, to support your success. So we appreciate each and every one of you, and we thank you so much for your partnership. We have really been so excited to see all the good things happening lately, and that is because of you, our partners. So thank you. And on that note, just a note, how can you win some more in August? Well, we sent out a fun email this morning that we're wrapping up with a fun challenge as we head into the holiday weekend. So your attendance today at the webinar will enter one raffle entry for our giveaway today. So great job. You are a step ahead of some other partner agents. And then any sale that you enter between today and the end of the month will be one raffle entry. And then at the end of the month, we will be raffling off two $250 gift cards, and we will send that out next week. So again, thank you so much for making time out of your busy schedules to be with us today, and we appreciate your partnership.